I forged ahead in my quest to construct a playable Enak deck using Whizzard, because I feel that Enak is going to receive some cool new tools in the newer data packs that are going to come out soon. So I'd like to get my hands on practice with playing Enak, because I'm too used to playing Criminal from all the tournament play. So anyway, this is going to be a quick game. We are going to have Grindel, which aims to end the game very quickly, and we have Whizzard. My deck is also constructed to try to take as much advantage as possible in the early game, and failing that, the early mid game, where I can abuse the sheer power of medium and evasion with Demolition Run. So here goes. I have a very good opening hand. There is a knight in there. Yes, this deck has gone through a lot of makeovers. I've completely moved away from the Scavenge modded combo into using my influence purely for draw power and tutoring. I need to be able to get the tools out when I need to. Alright, here I make a pretty big mistake. First 2 clicks are spent posting the knight. The third click should have been spent running. Instead, what I did was to get a credit, because I was on 1 credit. Gaining a credit would take me to 2, which will allow me to break 1 subroutine on the ice with knight. I forgot that Grindel has a bad pub. I should have used that click to hit KT Jones instead, to get 3 more credits to defend myself against Sea Scorch, Mid-Season Scorch, whatever it is he's running. Or to use my breakers. So that was a huge mistake that would come back to bite me very hard later on. And I draw into very nice cards. Corroder is awesome for dealing with Ice Wall, and Hive, which any self-respecting Wayland would run nowadays. But I was low on credits, so my choice was the Tilondri Archives, just for the 3 credits. Yes, he's playing a very fast deck, and I'm very worried about it. But I feel that I can outspeed him by attacking R&D instead. So that is exactly what I attempt to do. First, I force him to show me what threats he has on the remote, because I've played quite a few games with this Whizzard deck, and I've been losing a lot of games. And I realized a lot of my losses are because I was playing too passively, trying to build up my rig and draw up my cards instead of relentlessly attacking, which is how I usually play my Criminal. And that is how you place pressure on the court. If you don't run, they don't have to rest the ice, which could be lowly ice, such as the ice wall that you see on R&D. That doesn't do anything. Alright, so he was using the hostile takeover to test my permeability into that server. Knowing that I cannot get into that server, what he does is to now put a proper agenda inside that server. More than likely an over advanced Atlas or geothermal fracking. So I take this opportunity to siege his R&D. Forcing him to ice out R&D instead of scoring the agenda. So now yes, I make a mistake here. Here I make a very big mistake. I contest the remote. I know that I need to stop him from getting a free Atlas. But what I should have done here was to throw the knight onto R&D and siege R&D from there. Because as long as I keep putting up pressure on R&D, there's nothing he can do about it. Well, yeah, and face checking that really cost me. It turned out to be a Grim, and he took out my York, so I couldn't get into the server. That was very painful for me. I don't know, or maybe I should have played the knight on the remote. No, I wouldn't have enough clicks to do that. So yes, it was a lose-lose either way. I really wanted to get into that server because I knew I had to contest anything that was advanced in servers. That's why you saw me trash that Grindel Refinery very early on. And now he threatens what seems like a 5-3 agenda. So I can't get in anymore because my York is gone. So my only route left is, as mentioned, last turn, that I should have done last turn. Play the knight on R&D and attempt the R&D lock. So here goes. To access 3 cards, hopefully I get an Ice Wall, a Hive, and the Snare closes the game. Yeah, so I cannot outspeed against a Grindel. And anyway, even if I hit an agenda that, I probably would have lost. I mean, he was low on credit, so he couldn't Sea-Scorch me, but he would probably still have advanced and scored that 3-pointer, bringing him up to 6 points. And from there on, it would be a matter of tutoring a hostile takeover from his R&D with the over advanced Atlas to win the game. So that was really very, very bad for me because I wasn't able to penetrate through his 2 ice deep remote within the first few turns of the game. So this just goes to show how little Gwendo is. And even though I was running Knights in my deck, Knight is the ultimate early game icebreaker to run through remote servers without much worry because they're AI breakers. But well, clearly they didn't do enough, and I suffered for it. Nothing else I can say. What could I have done better? As I said, maybe I don't know. It could be questionable to not challenge the remote. You don't know for sure that that's a Grim, and it's better to take the risk and find out. At least force him to rest the ice than to have him score the Atlas and get another agenda going in that server. I guess I could have contested the next agenda he put in by throwing a Knight out there, but